Welcome to my Days of Our Lives News YouTube channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribers button and give this video a thumbs up. Marlena is still in her robe when Kristen and Rachel arrive at the townhouse in the morning. Marlena gives Rachel a bear embrace, beaming with excitement at seeing her grandchild. According to Kristen, Rachel had a nightmare in which something horrible had occurred to her father. She woke up weeping. She had to see him immediately. Brady, meantime, approaches his car's driver's seat in the parking garage. With their arms out, Marlena and Rachel seem as if they are going to embrace. At the murder scene outside the square, Paulina runs into Jada. According to Jada, the motorist that struck Sarah does not have an ID, but they will get video from the security cameras. They concluded that the automobile had struck a distant post based on the skid marks. She will have the gray paint discovered examined by forensics. Brady exits his gray automobile in the parking garage. Unsure of his purpose, he remembers drinking at small bar in the past. Oh my God, did I drive while intoxicated? Fiona serves her and Xander coffee in the hospital, where they are still wearing their clothes from the previous evening. Maggie passes away and starts crying. Sarah and Xander would be on their honeymoon right now if she had discovered the cabin key and boarded the ship. Xander reassures her that the person who ran Sarah over and abandoned her to die is the only one at fault. Fiona, guilty, has a flashback where she was that person. Xander promises to go down that scumbag and use his own hands to murder them if Sarah doesn't survive. Arriving in the lobby, Kayla informs everyone that Sarah is stable. They were able to mend the many cuts she had on her spleen and liver. It's amazing she doesn't have any broken bones, but they still need to assess the soft tissue bruises and inflammation she has. If all goes according to plan, Kayla is sure Sarah will make a full recovery. Brady and Kristen look at one another tensely in the living room of their townhouse. While they wait for Brady to wake up, Marlena takes Rachel into the kitchen of the townhouse to prepare pancakes. Remaining in the living room, Kristen takes a call for work. Brady stomps in. He maintains he was working all night when Kristen accuses him of taking a shameful stroll. He steps out of the living room, and Kristen rolls her eyes and lets out a deep sigh. Given the likelihood that the motorist was inebriated, Jana gives an officer at the crime site instructions to check with the local bars. She tells Paulina the wonderful news about Sarah after receiving a call from Kayla. Jana races to interrogate her in the hospital. Jada gestures toward the square, where Paulina is not. Her police badge fastens securely on her waist. When Xander arrives in Sarah's hospital room, she is beaten and mistreated. Does she need anything? He asks. Just you, she murmurs feebly. When she recovers, Xander tells her that Bonnie is keeping an eye on Victoria and offers to take her on the honeymoon of her dreams. If beer is her first word, they'll know who's at fault. At least it won't be his mother's fault, Sarah jokes. Jana tells Maggie in the foyer that she's hoping Sarah can identify the driver. In her chair, Fiona cowers. Maggie sees her daughter when Xander gets back. Janet informs Xander that while nearby businesses will be consulted, municipal surveillance was unable to get any footage of the event. Recounting the events of the night, he discovers that the driver was still there when he discovered Sarah. For what reason would they remain? Jana believes they wanted to guarantee assistance arrived, and from there, they ran away. Xander remarks, pointing out that it is illogical. Fiona attempts to stop Jada from talking to Sarah when she says she'll go speak to her, but she is unsuccessful. In the living room of the townhouse, Rachel is seated on Brady's lap. Both of them glance up with neutral looks. Kristen hangs up with Mr. Shin, and Marlena makes her way back to the living room. When Rachel arrives, she informs them that her father isn't in his room and wasn't even in bed the previous night. Brady emerges, transformed. Rachel leaps into his arms. Kristen assists him in covering, since his bed is already prepared. Rachel questions whether she and Brady alone can accomplish anything. They are having a mother-daughter day today, and Kristen is okay with it. Later, he may give her a call to discuss things. As Rachel bids Brady farewell, she expresses her relief that he had avoided being crushed by a steamroller. Unlike in her dream, Marlena purses her lips and narrows her eyes at Brady when Rachel and Kristen go. She was relieved to see his vehicle in the garage early last night, even though it was parked in her place, since he has been arriving home late lately. Brady had a flashback to their drinking days with Fiona as she goes to give John a painkiller. Brady phones Fiona, frantic to find out what on earth occurred the previous evening. He recalls waking up behind the wheel of his automobile after spending time at small bar with her. How did I get home, do you know? In a flashback, Fiona places Brady behind the wheel so that he won't know she was the one driving in the unlikely event that Xander finds out his vehicle struck Sarah. It's better that you fall than that I do. She pretends that she attempted to get Brady to take a taxi home, but he insisted that driving was okay. But at this moment, she is unable to speak since Sarah had an accident. She ends the call. Brady remembers hearing the crunch of metal after an accident as he becomes more stressed. The only thing Sarah can remember about the automobile is that it was great when Xander takes Jada to her room. Too much light was coming on for the driver to see. Jada departs after promising to find out who did this. Kayla enters the room, and Sarah shudders. Sarah is covered with a blanket by Xander, but she is not aware of it. She cannot feel his hand as he squeezes her legs. I have no feelings at all. Kristen and Rachel are seated at a table in the square, enjoying croissants. Kristen laughs and hides her lips. Kristen and Rachel are eating pastries in the square. It surprises Kristen that even after eating pancakes, she is still hungry. Rachel admits that she disposed of them in the garbage. Grandma is my favorite, but even she can't make cereal taste good. After coming across them, Paulina notices that Rachel has written to her about stealing her position. Funny enough, Kristen asks her if she wants to be mayor. Rachel shoots back, well, she's rich. Assuring her, Paulina says, not from being mayor. Kristen has Rachel put in her earplugs when Paulina brings up the hit and run. As she and Paulina move aside, she finds out that Sarah was the victim. All they know is that the driver was intoxicated and the vehicle was gray. Paulina tells Rachel to start with class president, but wishes her luck with her mayoral ambitions before she leaves. Rachel tells Kristen that she overheard them talking. She observes that many people, including Daddy, drive gray automobiles. Kristen's eyebrow goes up. Brady takes an aspirin and reads his tablet nervously at the townhouse. After returning, Marlena informs him that Sarah was struck by a vehicle and the driver fled the scene. Kayla tests Sarah's reflexes while she's in the hospital. She doesn't feel anything. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.